Well, good morning, everybody. Those who have been maybe following along here in the last, well, I've only known about it since last night. Like I've been working a lot of late hours, so trying my darndest to keep up with all the YouTube videos from everybody. I know I try to hit the main people I always try to keep an eye on every night, but I can't get through it all. It's pretty hard. But hopefully today and tomorrow I'll catch up. But I noticed there's something going on now where they're doing a, somebody picks somebody and you do a, what's your favorite tool? So I saw last night 63 Impala did his favorite tool, and then now he picked Mrhevyshevy and the chevyscouger. So I watched their videos this morning, got up actually kind of early, watched their videos, and they both picked me. So not really sure what the rules are to that in terms of, when you pick twice. I don't know what the rules even are to this game. I know it's some kind of pyramid thing, so I'll come up with something. In terms of picking my tools, that is hard. I got a lot of tools. The chevyscouger, you talked about how buying tools, was very expensive, and name brand tools aren't cheap. I really don't like buying, Harbor Freight or, Northern Hydraulic cheapo Chinese tools. In my trade, that wrench breaks or that ratchet snaps off or a screwdriver breaks and your hand goes flying into something. I'd rather buy, a name brand tool, knowing that if I put my weight into it and I'm pushing on something, it shouldn't break. It does, it happens, but usually you got a pipe on it, but don't tell the tool rep that. So I picked a couple. It's hard. I don't know what ones are my favorite. They're all my favorite, so we'll go take a look and see what I picked. Alright, like I said, picking my favorite tool was not going to be easy. I know Mrhevyshevy and probably a lot of other people think that, my hydraulic flaring tool is my most favorite, and I do love it, trust me. But I don't know if it's my favorite tool. I only use it when I need to. It's not like it's an everyday thing for me yet. It's on my top 10 for sure, but it's not my favorite. But I do like it. It is one up there. Another thing, gear wrenches. When these first came out, I had to buy one, and these things are awesome. They save a lot of time. Use them probably every day. Probably not so much this set. This was an experimental set I bought, and they're handy. Pivots and all that fun stuff. They weren't cheap. But just a regular gear wrench. I know I got a set at work. I got a set here at the shop. These are my primary tools I grab every day. You always need them. My tubing bender. You no longer can buy this particular brand. It's made out of plastic, but it bends, so nice. The reason why they stopped making them is people would break them, and they just stopped warranting them. I got this from Matco, oh man, probably 15 years ago. Very good tool, but I would rate it probably was, the flaring tool. It's not an everyday thing. I like it, but it's not my favorite. My Nimpex pliers and cutters. For the money, these are some really nice pliers. Use them a lot. And you can't forget your homemade tools. Wish I was paying attention when I brought home all my homemade tools from work, but what I have here at the shop, just a couple here. I got my, pre-oilers for big block and small block Chevy, and this is for a 6.2 or 6.5 diesel. Then I got my pilot bearing removal tool for clutch bearing pilots and the ends of cranks. I'll have to do a video on this. This is kind of neat. Then you always got your specialty tools. Line socket, 3/4, so that's pretty much any Bosch pump with the bigger engines, diesel. Anybody worked at a Cummins, taking a PT pump off, if you don't have this wrench, you're not taking that back bolt out of that PT pump. And I get a 5.9 Cummins, engine turner over. This little guy here, my hose cutter, very handy. Portaband, and my power tools. All, just very handy stuff. But out of all this stuff here, and I had to think about this for a while, what is my favorite? I'm going to pick two of them because I got picked twice. But my Portaband, that is a very valuable tool for me. I mean, you want to do exhaust work underneath a car, fabricating. I mean, this is actually my second one. I wore out my first one. I bought that 1995 because I never even heard of a power band until I started at where I work. I had one and I was playing with it. It's like, oh man, bought it. I mean, I used the heck out of it. So I upgraded. This one's actually got a little bit deeper throat than the other one. But very handy tool. This one here I would definitely say, if I'm making something, that's usually the first thing I get out. That and the grinder usually, but the other thing I'd have to say is my welder. When I got kicked out, I wouldn't say kicked out, but when I moved out of my dad's shop, he had a nice Miller welder. Used that, since I was in middle school. So when I moved out on my own, it's like I need a welder. Actually, this is the first thing I bought. I think the second thing was the air compressor, but the first thing was this welder. It says Mac Tools on it, but it's actually made by Miller. It was made by Miller for Mac Tools. It's a 220 volt, 175. I've welded pretty much everything, probably stuff I shouldn't be welding with. Trailers and truck frames and stuff like that, but it's never let me down. I'm actually thinking about upgrading here pretty soon. I need something a little bit bigger, but it's been a trooper. And this is probably something that every shop probably needs. I mean, it's handy. I get my plasma cutter in the bottom down there. I forget who actually makes that for Mac Tools, but it's not just some Chinese plasma cutter. But for sure, I'd have to say my welder. Because like I said, you can't have a shop without a welder. At least not one that you're manufacturing and fabricating and all that fun stuff. So, I'd have to say those are my two favorite. I mean, like I said, they're my cordless tools. They're right up there to the top too. I use them every day. Actually, this Makita here, 9.6. I've had this one now for almost 14 years, 13 years. It's getting weak, but it still works. And then the bigger Makita, that one's cool. So now I gotta pick somebody. Because I got picked twice, I think I'm gonna pick three people. I'm gonna pick Brid chvtruck. Bruce, your turn. I know you got a lot of neat stuff up there, so I'm sure you got something cool. My second pick will be Cutworm 59. Steve, I know you got some cool stuff, I bet. So we're going to see what you got. And my last pick is going to be TTOCS11. Scott, over there in England. We'll get a little overseas look and what kind of fun tools you got. Or what's your favorite tool. So that's it. Talk to you guys later.